expressing my inner trance to women and what I suspect that it means sometimes, or not suspect, but one of the theories that I have about, or in contradiction to, being trans. I am out at a fast food restaurant having breakfast. I was careful not to show the logo, but I think you can probably tell which one it is. But there's this thing that I noticed. It happens like I met a woman about 2 months ago, and we started talking on the. I was about to say we started talking online, but it was actually SMS text, right? And almost straight out of the gate, I think I mentioned something about being trans. We had met in person, but we didn't talk about that. And so when I told her that, or what did she say? She said something, and I said, "Did you not notice that I had breasts?" And so I sent her a picture, right? But when I sent the picture, I had this feeling of like, I want her to see them. I want her to see the breasts, right? And I want her to find me attractive that way. Now, some people might be thinking, well, that's because you're trans. That's how it would be for a trans person, right? But I thought that's what I thought myself. But there's also this other idea that's been kind of floating around my head, that growing up with a mother who kind of had this resentment towards men, and I would describe her as a ball crusher, that apparently when she was with my father, she liked to crush his balls. When I was younger, I don't remember specifically instances where she would be maybe emotionally abusive or trying to emasculate me or to crush my balls, so to speak. I just remember feeling that way. I remember feeling like she just hated me, like she didn't like me, that she wanted to make me feel bad, and these sorts of things. I remember feeling that way. I don't remember the specific, like I don't remember her calling me names or anything like that, but but I didn't live with her very long, right? So she sent me away when I was 8 years old. And but even from that point, I grew up with this idea that if I'm going to be with a woman, then I have to be different from other men. Right? I can't be like other men. I have to be sweeter. And growing up, I remember even hearing from other women, like when my father married his third wife, and I was at their house one day, and I overheard his wife talking, and she was saying that all men are pigs. And I remember having this kind of feeling of almost like a confirmation of this fear or this doubt or this insecurity that I have about men was true, right? So it was like it came from, it was something that I felt or suspected from my childhood, that men are just like the devil, right? To a woman anyways. And so here I was, I forget how old I was when I overheard this other woman. But it was like, yeah, okay, I get it, right? Men are pieces of shit. So for me, once I started the trans thing, I started to realize this kind of shit opinion that I have of men. And it wasn't just from overhearing women say things, or maybe the way my mother treated me, or even other women treated me, but it was also just from my own experiences with men. Being co-workers, hanging around men in the army, places like that, and just thinking, these guys are assholes. You know, who would want to marry somebody like this? And so what I started to think when I was going through the trans thing was that I want to be a woman, or at least like a woman, with women. Not necessarily because that's what I want, but because I see that as it's almost like if men are the devil, then the woman is the saint. And, right, so that's the way into the temple. If you want to enter the temple, you have to be a saint. So I'm making this video because I thought that today I was on my way to the VA hospital, and there's a woman who works there, and I'm assuming that I'm going to see her. So I put on a shirt that shows a bit of cleavage, right? And I wore it because I knew that I would be seeing her. And when that occurred to me, because it wasn't something that 20 years ago I would never have thought that. 20 years ago I would never have thought this girl that I think is cute is going to be there. I need to put on a bra or something feminine. But neither would I have thought I need to put on like a really cool men's shirt, or like just like a really dapper outfit. I probably would have just dressed the way that I typically dress, which was just comfortable, t-shirts and work pants. So, but when I put this on today, and I felt that there was this feeling of excitement and there was this, I got this sense that having never had fun in my life, like I never really had fun in my life, like if I went out to parties or things like that, I had to be drunk in order to have fun. And there wasn't much that I did for fun besides go out and get drunk, right? And so, but there was when I was putting on my top here, I had this kind of like flash fantasy, right, of me going out with this girl and her and I like just having a blast. And there was this is when I had this kind of realization that it's like I have to be like a girl in order for this to happen. That if I see myself as a man, it won't work. And so that was immediately I started to question that and say, is that because I'm trans, or is that because I have this shit opinion of men, and that I think that the only way to really connect with a woman and have fun with her and have the kind of relationship that I want is to be a woman, or at least like a woman. So that's why I wore this top. It's just basically just a tank top. It's a men's tank top that I ripped down the middle. So this is what I'm wearing. It's the VA hospital. Of course, I had it zipped up behind my jacket when I came in here to eat because I don't care for anybody here to see me this way. Or to see me with my jacket unzipped. So, I don't know, I've been thinking about doing like a list maybe, or various theories I have, maybe that are maybe not necessarily in contradiction to being trans, but maybe alternate theories. Because that is one of them. This is one of my alternate ideas to the trans idea, is that I'm not really trans, that I'm really just a man who is, been beaten over the head with this idea that it's not okay to be a man. I do consider that more of a theory than the trans idea because of the excitement that I feel, right? That when I see myself as a woman, I don't see it as more like a chore, right? I don't see it as, oh, I have to do this because this is the only way to be with a woman. It's really more the opposite for me. It is more when I go out as a man, that's for me is the chore. This is why my life was not fun. So I think this is the first video I've made out in public. But all right. Well, I'm off to the VA.